ads, promotions, and do the right things for the end customer. Moving on to the next slide. This is more in terms of another section of what I'm going to deal with, which is more of virtual concepts. Now, just to quickly recap what we dealt with till now is we started with retail trends. We talked briefly about the online strategies which are being used, and we talked about in terms of some of the in-store strategies what are being adapted. I'll further get into what else can be done in store, and I've put a separate subsection for that called as virtual concepts. So first of the things which is already in operation, quite a few might have heard about it, and maybe if you have ever gone to Korea, you might have experienced that as well, is the virtual store. And this is done by none other than Tesco, which is a UK-based retailer, and it has its subsidiary called Home Plus in Korea. So what they've done there is people who have been in, let's say, in India, in Delhi, or of late in Bangalore as well. For example, there are these metros which have kind of taken the mainstream transport for the masses. Now, most of us go to offices in let's say metros, as in let's say in Delhi at least, and hoping it's going to get so in Bangalore in future. So you might you start using metros, and the time you would spend in office and let's say while getting back, let's say on your way back, if there's something which is put up at a metro station, which is a virtual wall, which is a virtual store, and that's what they did in Korea. If you see the small screenshot that I put, as soon as you get on at your metro station from your metro, you can see a virtual large display out there. None of those products are real. These are all displays out there. And what you can just do is take your mobile phone and scan the QR code of that, and that gets added to a shopping cart, right? You do the purchase by just doing the scan, and on your mobile you just go ahead and do a checkout using let's say your credit card, or you're probably using a PayPal account or whatnot. And by the time you reach home, your products are also delivered to your home, right? It's that much more convenience. And in fact, the return of what this actually happened is they had an increase of sales by about 130% compared to where it was in terms of their total sales, and they had the number of user base in terms of subscribers who are doing this go up by, as in the number of customers itself went up by 76% from where they were, and the total sales went up by 130%, right? The concept is really taking the store to the people, right? So taking the store to the, coming to the buying behavior of time is of essence, specifically for repeat things like grocery or standard stuff. Can they really get to that place where it makes a difference to the customer in terms of saving his or her time, and get to the convenience of getting it delivered, and getting in the path of the customer's home to get it delivered? And that's what this specific virtual store has done, right? And it has been a big success, and it's something which a lot of other retailers are trying to replicate across the world. And I'm sure, no wonder within a few years, it's not something which you would, I would be surprised if we see it in our own country in India as well. Getting to the next one, which is around a similar theme, which is what Adidas, which is a shoe company, as in a sneaker shop, primarily a sneaker shop, which has all the other apparels and stuff like that as well, has tried, is about a concept called Adiverse. And what is Adiverse is a virtual wall, which is an interactive shoe store. And you can see the screenshots out there. Now what is shown there is an interactive wall out there where there are shoes shown or sneakers shown, and the user can use that as a touch screen and scroll the different shoes, and let's say selects a specific sneaker. On the right side, on the middle, you can find the picture which shows the details about the sneaker, all the things. or a store over the weekend, and you would have just gone in to see like hundreds of others like you who are there also shopping, and let's say you found a specific pair of dress which you would want to try on, and you just go near the trial room and see a beeline and a queue of 15 other folks in front of you. Now, how much more frustrating an experience it's going to be for you to wait in the queue, and probably, let's say, one of them did not kind of match or suit your size. You will have to get to the queue again to try another one. So what is supposed to be your good weekend shopping experience time turns out to be a frustrating nightmare, and we've all experienced that, right? So how about, let's say, virtual fitting rooms making its reality, and these virtual rooms, let's say there are 10 of these big virtual mirrors or the virtual rooms which are put in a store, and all the person needs to go is stand in front of it and show the specific apparel chosen, and it will try out, take a picture of you, try out on you, and decide in terms of whether it makes, you can decide whether it makes sense for you or not. And that's about the virtual fitting room. It saves real estate space and no more long frustrating waits in front of trial rooms. Let me get to the next one, which is in terms of some of the other strategies. Now, what I've shown here is the virtual fitting room part of it. Now, apart from the virtual aspects, let me cover a few more strategies which some of the retailers are trying out. Right, this is a departure from the in-store strategies, but this is more in terms of what are the other things what these retailers are doing in terms of concepts. There are a few concepts which I have put in, not necessarily in specific order. The first one is called as drop shipping. Now, drop shipping is a pretty caught up concept in the Western world, and it's something which is catching up out here in India as well, wherein a retailer does not really need to spend the actual time in terms of or the space in terms of setting up and maintaining the inventory, but takes the sale and forwards it to the customer. Forwards it to the retailer to actually do the shipping to the end customer. So that is the concept of drop shipping. So there's no inventory holding cost, and the manufacturer directly sends out the specific product to the end customer. So that's the concept of drop shipping, which is cost effective. The second concept which I wanted to mention here is in terms of marketplaces, and all of us are familiar with the marketplaces like the Amazons and the eBays of the world. Yeah, so the Amazons and the eBays of the world, and these are called marketplaces. So what are connected marketplaces? Now there are these online offline connections. As in, let's take an example of Tesco, right? So Tesco has a lot of physical presence as well as online presence, but Tesco is also having getting into the marketplaces, as in setting up marketplaces like the Amazon, wherein there can be other retailers who can subscribe and sell under the brand of the Tesco. So that's about the connected marketplaces. There are a lot of retailers who are trying this, and the Tesco is one of them, pioneers who is trying this as well. Next, let me talk about the pricing strategies. So in terms of the pricing strategies, let me take an example of what Walmart, which is one of the biggest retailers in the US, is trying or has been successfully implemented. So it's about everyday lower prices. Right? It's called as EDLP, which is it is more in terms of for the customer. It is like at any specific day the customer gets in. You get the best price. It's not like you have to wait for a promotion, you have to wait for a coupon or anything. It's everyday best lowest price, and that's a strategy which kind of makes a lot of difference to the end customer. They get the confidence that they're getting the best price. So moving on to another one, which is in terms of clearance sale. I mean, there's a concept which most of us are pretty familiar with, which is what one of the large retailers in the US like JCPenney is trying, wherein it's about having clearance sales on specific days, which is going to attract lower price and hence the customers. There's also this concept of doorbusters. If you've heard it, it's more of there's this specific time and a day during which there's going to be a lower price on a specific product, and that is going to be the product which is going to product which is going to get the customers to the store, and that will eventually translate to other sales. And another one which I want to just mention is about the price comparison app, which Amazon has actually rolled out. And what this price comparison app is all about is, let's say you are in a store trying to buy something, you just scan the QR code, and you can pretty much go ahead and search in terms of what's the price on Amazon. If Amazon has a better price, you can go ahead and buy it. So this is a game changer for Amazon, which has increased their sales to a large extent, wherein it's more of a price comparison app. So these are some of the other strategies, both the online and the offline things are being utilized, are being tried by the different retailers. So I wanted to cover a few strategies out there apart from the in-store and the online, and that's what I captured out there in this slide. So with this, I would like to open the forum for questions.